When the first European settlers came to America, they were taken aback by a cultural practice some American Indian has. For example, if a settler was cold, the Indian would give the person a blanket. Mistaking it for a gift, the settler was then offended when the Indian asked for it back. The Indians also got upset when they realized the settlers did not want to give it back. This is where the term Indian giver came from. Simple cultural misunderstanding. Let's get into some reading. And now that we've fixed everything that was a technical issue, we are up to part 7 of getting started in chapter 8. Be an Indian giver, the power of getting something for nothing. So here we go. When the first European settlers came to America, they were taken aback by a cultural practice some American Indian has. For example, if a settler was cold, the Indian would give the person a blanket. Mistaking it for a gift, the settler was then offended when the Indian asked for it back. The Indians also got upset when they realized the settlers did not want to give it back. This is where the term Indian giver came from. Simple cultural misunderstanding. In the world of the asset column, being an Indian giver is vital to wealth. The sophisticated investor's first question is, how fast do I get my money back? They also want to know what they get for free, also called a piece of the action, which is why the ROI, the return on investment, is so important. For example, I found a small condominium that was in foreclosure a few blocks away from where I lived. The bank wanted $60,000 and I submitted a bid for $50,000, which they took, simply because along with my bid for a cashier's check for $50,000, they realized I was serious. Most investors would say, aren't you tying up a lot of cash? Would it not be better to get a loan on it? The answer is not in this case. My investment company used this condominium as a vacation rental in the winter months when the snowbirds come to Arizona. It rents for $2,500 a month for 4 months out of the year. For rental during the off-season, it rents for only $1,000 a month. I had my money back in about 3 years. Now I own this asset, which pumps money out for me month in and month out. The same is done with stocks. Frequently, my broker calls and recommends I move a sizable amount of money into the stock of a company that he feels is just about to make a move that will add value to the stock, like announcing a new product. I will move my money in for a week to a whole month while the stock moves up. Then I pull my initial dollar amount out and stop worrying about the fluctuations of the market, because my initial money is back and ready to work on another asset. So my money goes in and then it comes out, and I own an asset that was technically free. True, I have lost money on many occasions, but I only play with money I can afford to lose. I would say, on an average 10 investments, I hit home runs on 2 or 3, while 5 or 6 do nothing, and I lose on 2 or 3. But I limit my losses to only the money I have in at the time. People who hate risk put their money in the bank. In the long run, savings are better than no savings. But it takes a long time to get your money back. And in most instances, you don't get anything for free with it. So first of all, yes, it is very important to start calculating how soon you're able to get your money back, because that is the whole point of the exercise. I'm actually creating the new lesson for the 2 girls that I am teaching about financial savvy. And one of the things that I'm going to be teaching them is return on investment. We're going to have a look at the stock market this week. And the amount of money that I put in, how much of it do I get back? So I gave a couple of examples so that they can calculate what their return is going to be. And then they can compare it to other things that they've been doing. Because now you're comparing apples to apples as opposed to apples to oranges. If I get a 3% return from the bank, if I get a 2% return on my bonds, if I get a 5% return on the stock market, and if I get a 10% return on a certain piece of real estate, which one would you prefer to put your money in? It makes it so much easier way to compare one thing to the other. And obviously, you want to get the highest return you possibly can. The other thing that is very, very good in this chapter is the fact that Robert talks about some of the strategies that he uses. So there is not just one strategy of buy a share, hold it, and sell it at some point. There are also strategies where you buy and you sell your initial investment when you know that it's going to go up for a while, and then you keep the difference, which means that you now own stocks that you never really paid for. Make sure you also take the commissions out. I don't think he mentions that, but make sure you take the commissions out. So let's say that I put $100 into the stock, it goes up and doubles. So now I have 200. Let's say my commission is $10. So I now have 190 left, and I sell the initial amount, which is my 110, since I want to have my commission back as well. So now I have 90 worth of stock that I'm able to just keep and hold, and that I do not need to worry about anymore. It doesn't matter if the market goes up or down. I can do this again and again and again. And these are just some of there's others in other chapters that we spoke about, these very smart ways of investing that are not the normal ways of investing. So if you can accumulate as many of those strategies as possible, you can start implementing, learning from, and doing things a little bit smarter than other people might be able to. True, I have lost money on many occasions, but I only play with the money I can afford to lose. I think I already read that piece. So, on every one of my investments, there must be an upside, something for free, like a condominium, mini storage, a piece of free land, a house, stock shares, or an office building. And there must be limited risk or a low risk idea. There are books devoted entirely to this subject, so I'll not talk about it here. Ray Kroc of McDonald's fame sold hamburger franchises, not because he loved hamburgers, but because he wanted the real estate under the franchise for free. So wise investors must look at more than return on investment. They look at the assets they get for free once they get their money back. That is financial intelligence. So that was a bit of a short one, but what I will do very quickly is talk about this strategy. And very often we think that there is only one way to invest, and that is we need to put our money in, and that we either get a little bit lucky or not. But it's important to realize that there are safer ways of doing things, that there are people who created systems that are going to allow you to be able to hedge, to protect everything that you have been doing in that investment. So make sure that you look for and look beyond just what everybody else is doing. I have a friend up in Queensland who teaches how to buy properties with no money down. So I have been wanting to do that course for a while, and I will probably be doing that very soon. I'll be reaching out to him later today. I have other friends who do things in cryptocurrencies. I have friends who are doing all sorts of different things that I am doing as well, or that I am not doing. I invested in the stock market, recently bought a property, but I'm also looking at other opportunities. So while I am investing in the stock market, I have another friend who does a different kind of investing. So I want to also be able to learn from them so that I can balance out all these different strategies and see which ones work better and which ones work a little bit less. Or if they are all quite good, then I can hedge them so that if the times are not as good, I can use one or I can use another one. So make sure that you surround yourself with people who know different strategies, who are good at what they do, who are willing to share with you and assist you so that you can achieve amazing things. So you need a strategy. You need to be able to adapt that strategy, and you need to create a plan so that you can execute step by step, one by one. I wouldn't recommend doing everything at once. If you do everything at once, you have focus everywhere, and that just doesn't work. But if you have your plan and you focus one by one, then you can definitely achieve so much more. And Mladen on the Zoom says all of them can join us for cash flow to learn about assets. I think it's asset classes. Yes, about asset classes. Absolutely. So if you would like to be able to learn and practice strategies, then Mladen and I, obviously we're going to start again with cash flow in person, but we have an online version that you can play, which takes cash flow, the board game, to a whole new level, because it has more realism, different things that you're able to do. And that allows you to be able to test strategies that you would be able to test in real life without risking any money at all. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. You can find me at business_team_6_official. And I would love to hear from you and get to know you a little bit. A couple of people have already reached out, which is really exciting, especially from the BIGO. So feel free to reach out and let me know if you're interested in the cash flow, and I'll get my VA, my virtual assistant, to reach out to you. And the more the merrier, and the more you play, the more you're going to learn. It is really amazing. Plus, you trick your brain into believing that you are doing things that you would be doing in real life. And that is very, very powerful. And it's something you have to experience to be able to understand. If you would like to see more of these videos, they are all recorded. I've made everything from the beginning of the book, and you can find them on YouTube. So feel free to go to the Passive Cash Flow Club on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe. We've got some more videos coming up soon as well, which is why my phone was on Wi-Fi this morning, because I needed to be able to transfer those across so that I can start editing and publishing those. So I look forward to seeing you either on Instagram or on YouTube. Have an amazing day today. Make sure you get some good things done towards your goals. I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Sydney time, and go out and have a productive day and achieve some great things towards your investment strategies and your investment steps forward so that you can achieve financial freedom. Keep working towards that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining, by the way.